Martin Scorsese's The Irishman, his Netflix original epic gangster movie, had an all-star ensemble cast, including Robert De Niro, Al Pacino, Joe Pesci, Harvey Keitel, Ray Romano, Bobby Cannavale, Stephen Graham, and Jesse Plemons. That is one heck of a lineup, and if one man is to be believed, there could have been another veteran famous face in that cast, Mickey Rourke, of The Wrestler, Sin City, and Iron Man 2 fame. A while back, last year I think it was, Rourke hit out at Robert De Niro as he claimed that the producers of The Irishman wanted him in the film, but De Niro blocked it. And a few months ago, Rourke made a post on his Instagram page where he called out De Niro. So De Niro and Rourke both starred in a 1987 film called Angel Heart. It's a mystery thriller in which Rourke plays an investigator looking to find a missing singer, but things take a dark and disturbing turn. Robert De Niro is in the film in a supporting role, and if my memory serves me correctly, he basically plays the devil pretending to be a human. According to film rumours, the two actors did not see eye to eye on set, and it seems whatever feud occurred between the two actors is the reason why De Niro stopped Rourke from starring in The Irishman, if the actor is to be believed. In September 2019, Rourke told a television programme that Marty Scorsese wanted to meet me for a movie with Al Pacino, Joe Pesci and Robert De Niro. The casting person told my manager that Robert De Niro said he refused to work with me in a movie. Rourke said that this was very upsetting for him because he needed money, and he went on to say, "I don't look up to him no more, I look through him. He doesn't forget what happened 20 years ago. They have a saying, I took him to school. Before, no other actor had taken him to school. I came up from the shit. He doesn't know that life. I lived that fucking life. So every time I look him in the face, I look right through his asshole." For me, this comes off as lowly and juvenile. It sounds like he's projecting some personal issues he's having, but it does make for a good tabloid story. At least one person disagrees with Rourke's claims, however, and that man is Mickey Rourke. As bizarre as it sounds, he actually gave an interview in a behind-the-scenes promo shoot during filming of Angel Heart where he seemed to praise De Niro for his intensity. "It was the first time I think I ever had to really concentrate in the way I had to concentrate," Rourke said. "He's the most concentrated actor I've ever seen. If you lose your concentration with him for like 4 seconds, you're out of there. At the end of the day, I was drained. Working with him sort of rejuvenated me." If you ask me, that makes it sound like it was De Niro that schooled him. Anyway, Rourke has his opinion on Robert De Niro, which he's entitled to, but to be honest, he seems to be making more of a thing of it than it really is. At least one of these guys here is really immature if they're still holding a grudge after 20 years, unless it's something really serious like, one's killed the other's dad or something. Turns out it might not be so serious though, as there's something that Rourke said that puts things into context and makes it a lot less like a catfight between two divas. Rourke said that when they were making Angel Heart, De Niro said to him, "I think it's better if we don't talk, because of our characters." He also said that De Niro didn't want Rourke to touch him on set. That seems to be, from the information we have, the only real concrete reason Rourke gives for hating De Niro. But I thought, if it's true, that it's a perfectly reasonable thing to do. De Niro is obviously a well-known method actor. He's done all sorts of crazy things, like living with Joe Pesci because the two are playing brothers in Raging Bull, or actually moving to Sicily and learning the culture and language for his role as Vito Corleone. For him to suggest to another actor, for the sake of their performances and the quality of the film, that the two not mingle, doesn't seem to me to be a crazy demand, especially seeing as though De Niro was playing a creepy, eerie antagonist. Even in a mainstream film about fashion, The Devil Wears Prada, veteran actor Meryl Streep apparently was courteous and kind to Anne Hathaway when they first met, and then told her that she's not going to say anything nice to her from now on, and she didn't. And the two play characters that don't like each other in the film. These things do really help with the performance, and I don't see the big deal here. And the thing about not touching him, well, there is such a thing as personal space. Would Rourke be happy if De Niro had said instead, "Yes, please come over here and touch my body"? On his role in The Irishman, I'm not so sure that he was wanted for a role. Sounds fishy to me. After all, it wasn't like Scorsese and the producers wanted him, and then De Niro threw a hissy fit. De Niro and Scorsese are close friends. They would have talked about it before Rourke was contacted. And De Niro himself was a producer on the film. The project's inception came from him. It was his baby. When Stephen Graham was interviewed for his role in the film, for example, he did the interview with De Niro and Scorsese, not just Scorsese. So to say the Irishman producers wanted him and De Niro cockblocked it is disingenuous. De Niro was one of the producers. Jane Rosenthal and Emma Killinger-Koskov, two producers of The Irishman, and Ellen Lewis, the casting director, released a statement shortly after Rourke made his, saying, "Mickey Rourke was never asked to be in The Irishman, nor was he ever thought of, discussed, or considered to be in the movie." That's pretty straightforward. If Rourke is lying, I wonder what his angle is. He did say it about 2 months before the film came out. Maybe he was trying to drum up interest in himself and put himself in the limelight for new roles in mainstream films. Or maybe he's a Donald Trump fan and wanted an opportunity to take a shit on De Niro. Who knows? I read something somewhere that De Niro was aware of Rourke's comments, but his silence in replying pretty much gives him the moral high ground, even if Rourke's comments are true. Or maybe De Niro just doesn't give a shit about what a has-been actor thinks of him. Ironically, the director of Angel Heart, Alan Parker, who passed away recently, praised De Niro's creepy performance to such an extent he said he could pretty much leave De Niro to direct himself, but he was less kind to Rourke, calling him a nightmare, and he said that he is very dangerous on the set because you never know what he's going to do. A few months ago, Rourke got a lot more of his anger off his chest in a bizarre Instagram post where he slammed De Niro for allegedly telling newspapers that Rourke was a liar. Rourke said, "Hey Robert De Niro, that's right, I am talking to you, you big fucking crybaby. A friend of mine just recently told me that a few months back you're quoted as saying to newspapers, Mickey Rourke's a liar, he talks all kind of shit. Listen, Mr. Tough Guy in the movies, you're the first person that ever called me a liar and it was in a newspaper. Let me tell you something, you punk ass. When I see you, I swear to God on my grandmother, on my brother and all my dogs, I'm going to embarrass you severally, 100%. I'm guessing that's supposed to say severely. Mickey Rourke, as God is my witness, I'll be relocating, moving back to NYC in next few months. This encounter will for sure happen." Well, I think he's made his point quite clearly, but if you ask me, Rourke is the one who comes off as crybaby in this situation, at least from the outside looking in. A rep from De Niro refused to comment on Rourke's recent outburst. Time will tell if we will get another chapter in this riveting feud. What do you think about all of this? Let me know in the comments below, and thanks for watching.